I was cooking dinner when my phone rang, an unknown number. The knife froze in my hand, blade half buried in the cutting board. My daughter's eyes snapped up from the table, wide and trembling. "Don't answer it, Dad," she whispered. Her voice carried a weight no child's should. "Please, trust me." The phone vibrated again, a long, insistent hum against the counter. I let it go to voicemail. Silence pressed against the walls. I turned back to the pan, stirred without appetite. But her gaze, fixed on me, on the phone, burned hotter than the flame under the skillet. Later, when she went to bed, I listened to the message. A man's voice, calm, intimate, certain. "Call me back when he's asleep." Not a stranger's tone, not a mistake. A man speaking to someone who belonged to him. And just like that, the air in the kitchen turned cold. The next morning, I watched my wife pour coffee, her movements casual, deliberate. Her phone buzzed. She slid it face down on the counter before I could glimpse the screen. A small thing, but small things cut deepest. I replayed the voicemail in my head. That voice, low and certain. It wasn't business, it wasn't casual, it was possession. I said nothing. I smiled when she kissed my cheek. I carried the lie of routine, but my daughter's warning haunted me more than the call. She knew something, she'd seen something. Children notice shadows adults pretend not to. The truth pressed against me, sharp, but I kept still. To move too quickly would give her cover. To accuse without proof would make me the fool. At work, I traced the number, an out-of-town area code, not random, not new. At night, I lay beside her, breathing in rhythm, steady, detached. She scrolled her phone facing away from me. I memorized every gesture, every flick of her eyes. The betrayal wasn't fully revealed yet, but it was there, bleeding at the edges of my life. I carried it in silence, the way you carry a blade in your coat, hidden, but always ready. I began collecting, quietly, phone records, bank statements, calendar entries she thought she'd deleted. I played dumb, the dutiful husband, all smiles, all silence. But inside, every discovery lodged like glass. There were trips she'd taken alone, invoices that didn't match her stories, text threads scrubbed clean except for fragments, ellipses left hanging. One night, when she showered, I unlocked her phone using the print she'd left on the screen. There he was, saved under a false name. A string of messages, careful but too familiar. "Miss you. Tomorrow? Always. Always." The word cracked something inside me, but I made no sound. I deleted nothing. I stored everything. Still, I didn't confront her, not yet. Instead, I bought a DNA kit. I swabbed my daughter when she fell asleep, brushing the inside of her cheek with steady hands. My own swab came after, colder, deliberate. Then I waited. Waited with her laugh echoing from the kitchen. Waited with her perfume still clinging to the hallway. Every moment was theater. I played my role. But my silence was the noose tightening. The results came back on a Wednesday. One wine, printed in clinical detachment, probability of paternity 0%. I sat in my office, the paper shaking not from weakness, but from the weight of certainty. My daughter wasn't mine, she never had been. And suddenly her whispered warning made sense. She knew, somehow. Children always know. That night, I handed my wife the envelope. She opened it, expecting bills, routine. Instead, her face drained. She looked at me. "Where did you—" I said nothing. Her lips trembled, searching for words that might unmake the truth. But truth doesn't unmake itself. Tears welled. Her voice broke. "It was a mistake. It was—" I remained still, cold, watching her unravel while I sat untouched. Silence was my weapon, and it cut deeper than rage ever could. I slid my phone across the table, her messages with him, arranged neatly, every word intact. "I saved them," I said finally, my first words in hours. Simple, flat. She gasped, reaching, but I pulled the phone back. "No," I told her, "you don't get to touch the evidence." She broke then, not with screams but with collapse, shoulders caved, breathing shallow, the facade shattered in silence. I stood, collected my coat, and left her in the kitchen where I'd first heard the message that unraveled us. I didn't take the child. I didn't argue. I let her sit with the wreckage she'd made. Because sometimes revenge isn't destruction. I walked through the night, air sharp in my lungs. The world looked cleaner somehow, brutal in its honesty. I thought of my daughter, hers, not mine. But she had whispered to me, warned me. She had chosen me in her small way. That was enough. As for the woman in that kitchen, her punishment wasn't my anger. It was the truth. The truth I'd left in her hands, heavy, undeniable. No shouting, no scenes, just the silence that follows a blade sliding home. I had nothing left for her. No pity, no forgiveness, no rage. Only clarity. When the door finally shut behind me, I knew I'd never open it again. And for the first time, the silence felt like freedom.